Good evening, everybody. This is episode 13 of our Let's Play in Space Engineers version 1.190. So I mentioned last time I was going to finish off these pistons and get them welded up. And so those are welded up, completed, and landing gear is clamped onto the ground. What we're going to do today is we are at least going to get these middle wheels attached so that we can then lower ourselves back down and drive forward a little bit so that we're clear of this wind turbine. We can put the back wheels on because we cannot do that at this point. So first thing we need to do is we need to go down here and get some steel plates queued up because I used everything that we had getting the pistons built up. That is an extra which we will use at some point. I'll go ahead and refill our hydrogen. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get these queued. Go ahead and queue up 200 of them. We'll use them. Now I'm going to refill the hydrogen. Still doing all right on resources. That should be enough to get us started. Actually, so these go like that. I can scroll the right way. Those go like that. Now we need 4 going down. So that's 3. And that's 4. And then we finish that off with the other sides here. And there's an extra one down here on the bottom. And that's our wheel attachment point right here. Alright, so this is the left side. Need the 5x5 wheels. I need to be able to see. Okay, it looks like it's oriented correctly. It's a struggle between being close enough to actually place the thing and being able to see that it's placing the right way. Yeah. You need to be out of the way so that the wheel will place. Alright, so that's 1. One, 2, 3, 4. And we should do this from the other side because we got to put one here. Out of steel plates.
Energy low.
And energy. this while we're here. I'm worried that our drill will be in the way, so I'm going to swing that somewhere else. That hurt a little bit. Alright. So, what did I call that? Mine rotor, I think. Yeah, mine rotor. So we're currently at 0. I need to go backwards. Go to -90. The right way? Yeah, we're going the right way. So that should be over top of our rover. Yeah, I think that would have been in the way. Now on the other side, this is not the way I want to build this. I'll go ahead and build that one in just because I'm here. But I want to do the top ones first because that's the one I'm counting. 2. 3. 4. Alright, so now we need 5x5 right. Get it oriented. It's upside down. Wheel placed. Now this one. From this side. I forgot the time. So this episode may run long because I wasn't timing to start with. It's 2. 3. 4. Hopefully our wheel will be able to place here and we won't be blocked. By the wind turbine. Yeah, we had room. Okay, good. Alright, now welding. I have never actually built a 5x5 large grid wheel without creative tools on, so we will see how much stuff we're going to need. We need 5, and so 20 steel plates, 100 construction components, and 24 large steel tubes. 2420. We already have one of those, so we need 23. And we've got these. And we needed 20 of them, so I can pull off 84 of these. Three of those, 100 of these, and we've got the steel plates on us already. And I don't think we'll actually be able to fit all of this into our inventory at once. If we do, it's going to be close. Yeah, we're already over. Alright, well, we actually don't want to carry all of the steel plates, otherwise we will end up overbuilding it. So we'll pull out 15 of these so we don't do that. Do we have enough room for all these now? Well, we have to come back, so we have room for 25 of them anyway. You gotta come back, you might as well come back for all of it. Alright. Wait a minute. How did I miscount that? What was I looking at? Oh, somehow I put on a 3x3 here. Oops. Alright. I thought this looked wrong. 5x5, right. There we go. That's convenient. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright. Now will this be able to fit? Yes. Okay, good. Alright, now how badly did we miscount? So instead of 5 each, we need 7 each. Instead of 25, we need 30. Instead of 6, we need 8. Well, that's kind of aggravating. Alright, well, let's just finish up this one to the extent that we can. We need 5 more construction components and 2 more steel plates for this. Go ahead and load up the rest of the steel tubes because we're carrying them all. Yeah, and spread out over 4 wheels being 2 off, we need exactly 8 left. 8 more. So 8 more of those, and instead of 100, we need 120. And then we need 2 more times 4, so we need 8 more of these. But for now we need 2. By the way, I actually turned the pistons off. They take 2 kilowatts of power each to run, and since they're not doing anything except just standing there, I figured I might as well save what we have in our battery for when we actually need to move things around. Go ahead and load up the construction components in here since we're carrying them. And we also have the steel plates we still need in, or the steel tubes rather, that we still need in here. So that's done. So now we'll pull out these steel plates 7 at a time. Go ahead and fix our health here since we took a little bit of a drop. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take all of these. And we can just drop them on the floor, because that's faster than running back and forth here like this. And we've got the space now. And drop them there. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do that right away before I did the welding, because I figured I would lose them since they're just sitting on the floor and they're so small. Alright, so there's half our wheels. Now for the suspension that actually drives them, we need 156 steel plates, 160 construction components, 80 large steel tubes, 120 small steel tubes, and 80 motors. I'm not going to remember that. 80 motors. We can actually do this now since it's not broken. Since the power is working. And 80 large steel tubes. And 120 small steel tubes. $140 construction components. No, 160 construction components. 140 doesn't make any sense. And then, did I do that? I think I did the 80 motors. And then 156 small steel or steel plates. Yeah, I did the motors. We'll use the extra 4 eventually. And we want to do the steel plates one batch at a time. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up the steel plates to go first so that we can do the running back and forth while the other stuff is assembling. Recharge again. Gotta kill some time anyway here. Forgot I had those steel plates in there already. Oh, I have a bunch of small steel tubes already too. That's all that we need. Oh well. Well, I still have time to cancel them. I can cancel them. I was wondering, why did we only make so many motors? Because I reordered the thing, that's why. Good reason. Alright, inventory, all of it. Grab as many motors as we can, that's all of them, okay. Refill our hydrogen tank. Alright, That's enough to get us going. Alright, so there's the steel plates for that one. Throw in what we have remaining for the other stuff. Yeah, that's the motors and the small steel tubes we can get in here. Not all of the motors though. But we got all the small steel tubes at least. Okay. So now we need another 39 of these. We need our motors. What's up with the construction components? Oh, I must have built those while I was waiting for materials to move in or something. Put the rest of the small steel tubes back in storage. We don't need those. Go ahead and grab 20 of these. Oh, don't have room. Yeah, motors and steel tubes are very big. You know what? I'm going to move a couple of these motors out so I have room to at least finish one thing. Now I still need the construction components anyway. Oh well. Steel tubes? I thought I had 20 of them. Guess not. Alright, well that's the steel plates for that one anyway. And then motors. And then motors. Motors. Tubes. Can't fit them. Alright, well we'll put 3 of these back. Because that should enable us to finish the one and fit enough steel. Oh, wow, look at all the construction components we can fit now that there's not all those. That's not right. Whatever. Whatever. And then we need 39 more of these. Nope, can't fit 39 more of those. Move some of these back. We only need 40. Still can't fit. I really want these steel plates because we're going to have to run back and forth for these regardless. Alright, so I think we're over on this one now. Yep. Just need one more steel tube for that. And there's the motors for that one. So now that we're done with motors, maybe we'll be able to fit enough stuff to finish this. You need 39 more of these. More of those. Those. Okay, so that should let us finish at least one. Or 2 rather. 3? No, let's finish some. Whatever. Steel plates. Here's our last steel tube. We can finish this one. There's one. Still need the construction components for that one. Still need the tubes and the construction components for that one. construction components for this one. Right, that's 3. That's 4. And I'm going to save before I do this. I got a bad feeling. Alright, so now I put all this stuff in groups. So we've got the clamps and the pistons. First thing we're going to do is unlock the clamps. And then we are going to reverse the pistons. We're going to reverse the pistons. Negative, 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 negative. Why are we not going down? Oh, because the pistons are turned off. I remember doing things. There we go. Now we're going down. And we have no way at all of steering this thing or driving this thing because we don't have any seats. Something else I should have thought of. Alright, well, we're going to do some shenaniganry then, I think. So our pistons are all fully retracted. We're going to select all of our wheels. And we are probably going to regret this. We're going to do a propulsion override of 0.1. Are we not on the ground? Alright. Propulsion override of 0. I think what we need to do is fix our height offset here. So we're going to very gently do this because we don't want to fling ourselves off. And now we're going to try a propulsion override of 0.01 because I think 10% was too fast anyway. More power. Try 0.05. Okay, so our wheels are all making contact. Eventually I'm just going to have to break down and actually build a driver's seat. Alright, let's try 0.1. Alright, well that wheel's over our hole, so I'm not really surprised that that one's not working. This is dangerous. I'm going to regret this. There we go. I can't put the brakes on. Yeah, I need to actually make a seat. Or at least a remote. How much is a large block remote? Large block remote's not too much. Especially because we can get all the parts back. Nothing in here is special. Alright, so we need 5 interior plates, 10 construction components. Do we have interior plates already? I think we do. Yeah, we have interior plates. So we need 10 construction components, 1 motor, and 15 computers. 10 construction components, 1 motor, 15 computers. Yep. This is significantly cheaper than a seat, so because I'm kind of trying to get this done, because I don't know how long I was running the episode before I remember to start recording. I think I only need 5 of these. And then I need everything from the assembler. Yeah, I need 5 of those. Oh, I need an antenna, otherwise it's not going to do anything. And parts you need just keep on stacking up. Maybe I can do it from the control panel. I don't know. We will see. I'm going to try it. Because I would like to not have to build an antenna on this right now. Yeah, I need an antenna. Either that or I need to reload the game. Antennas are expensive. Especially for a large grid. Large grid, yeah. See, they're expensive. Then we build all the stuff. At least it's all stuff we can get back. Alright, so we need 60 steel plates. A bunch of small steel tubes. 40 large steel tubes. 30 construction components. 8 computers. 40 radio components. And we do want an antenna on here eventually. So this isn't wasted. It's just annoying because I didn't want to have to do it right now. But I need to move the thing. It's in the way. See, I moved it all out because there's no room for anything else. Let's at least see if we can get it to go where we actually want it. Yeah, cool. Although I want it to face the other direction, I think. And now I can't get it to go there. Alright, well it's going to face that direction then. 1, 2, 3 on each side. Alright, cool. Construction components, large steel tubes, radio components, computers. Those are big too. So you only need 4 of them for a small grid, but for a large grid you need 40. And they're not any more effective. A lot of people will build a rotor and put a small rotor head on the rotor so that they can then attach a small grid antenna to do this. And I probably should have done that, especially since I'm trying to be lazy here. But that just felt more complicated and I don't feel like dealing with it. So I think that's everything. Assembler's empty. Yeah, that's everything. But we do need more hydrogen. Because I can do a propulsion override, but I can't apply the parking brake. So this is what we get to do. Seriously, we're doing this again with the... I don't know there's a new grid here. Yep, we're doing this again. Alright. So I'll probably cut this out depending on how long it takes because my system's kind of horrible, so it'll take a little while to unload and reload the game. I should not need to do this. I don't know why I do. It's more than a little bit aggravating. Instead of doing this, I could have just actually built a flight seat. Yeah, and I'm gonna end up running long again. I have annoying problems, and the video runs long. Anyway, this is the last thing we're going to do. Once we actually get this thing out of the way, we'll go ahead and stop for the day. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of the wheels on. We won't have to fiddle around with trying to move anything, so that won't take nearly as long as this has. What I'll probably do is at least get the parts built so that I can just go grab them instead of needing to figure out what I need to make and run back and forth and make it. I'll just have them made already. So that'll go a little bit faster in that regard. If we finish that much, we'll go ahead and start working on the drill itself. Because that's a little bit of an interesting construction process. So that'll be the next step is to actually build the drill. Then after that, we'll run the conveyor to some cargo containers, put in the refineries and the O2H2 generators and the hydrogen tanks and the hydrogen engines. I mean, this is kind of the step-by-step process. We're not going to do all this next episode. It's definitely going to be too long to do that all in one shot. But we'll get all that done at some point, and then the batteries, you know, might monkey with the order a little bit as far as batteries and tanks and generators and stuff like that, but it will all get done. And then we'll get the programming block installed, and I will run back into my creative world and just copy the code from there and put it in here. I'll have to build the flight seat first, otherwise the programming script will complain that it can't find the flight seat because it needs to use those text surfaces. And then we should be good to go, more or less. I mean, I have an ore detector on the one in creative mode, and I did some decorative things as far as like putting a catwalk underneath it so you could walk from the front of the rover to the back of the rover without needing to fly over it. We still need to add some connectors around, but yeah, so that's kind of the plan. We're going to be working on the rover here for the next couple episodes, I think. Well, the other thing to keep in mind too is that once the drill is done and we at least start with some cargo and some refinery capacity, words, we'll be able to actually take the thing out because we can do a lot of the construction on the move as long as we get an assembler installed on this thing too. So that's kind of a cool thing, is that, since this is all built with basic refinery parts or basic assembler parts, and basic refinery parts, uh, we can do all this kind of from the rover, and we don't have to do it all here where we have access to what we've already got. Yeah, see, now it suddenly is working fine. That's awesome. All right, drive forward, stop, parking brake. Miraculous. All right, I think we're clear now. Nope, now we're at risk of bumping into the other one. I don't think we'll actually hit the other one, but I'm going to go ahead and pull forward a little more anyway, just because we can. Now it's easy. Parking brake off. I want to be a little bit careful because we do only have two wheels on here, and we're not really balanced for that. Because these two wheels are right in the middle, and we're a little bit heavy on either side, so too much momentum, and we could end up rocking ourselves in ways that we don't want to. All right, so I think we're clear now. Yeah, we're clear now. All right, so since we're clear, I'll go ahead and extend the pistons back down and get us locked into place because we don't really want to be moving around. And I can power... Oh, I can't power that off. That's going to take 10 kilowatts and I can't power it off. All right, well, I'm going to grind it down then because I straight up don't want that thing running all the time. All right, so pistons, reverse. Up we go. And then lock the clamps. There we go. Now we're not on flat ground here, so we are a little bit tilted over, but that's fine. That's not a problem. We're done working at ground level at this point. I mean, we got welding to do, obviously, but everything else that we build is going to be on top of this, so we don't have to worry about intersecting the ground and anything like that. I just wanted to lock us in place so that we didn't have to worry about anything moving. And yeah, so like I said, I am going to turn off the antenna because the antenna is taking 20 kilowatts of power, and we're still using 16 kilowatts altogether, so I can turn the pistons off. That'll take us down to 8. And I think that's all coming from the remote control. Nope, that's 10. That's the max required input. Does it not use nearly as much when it's not doing anything? That'd be nice. I really wish I could just turn it off. That'd be great. But yeah, there's no off. So we'll grind it down. I'm not going to grind it down all the way, just because I may actually still need it before we get a flight seat installed on this thing. But now that that's been ground down, we're still using 8 kilowatts. Is it the wheels? Turn those off. There we go. Yeah, it was the wheels. Okay, so it says max required input, but that's really only when you're using it. So if I rebuild this, am I still using no power? Yes, I'm still using no power. Okay, cool. I can leave that intact. It's obviously not useful right now because the antenna is not attached to it. I don't think. Yeah, I need the antenna to be turned on. Turn the antenna on, and I can control it again. But the antenna takes power, so we're not going to do that. Our battery is now at 883.08 kilowatt hours. It is not using any power, so this will just sit here perfectly content forever unless it gets smacked by a meteor. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you'd like to see the rest of the construction process and what we do with it next and what we do with everything next. Likes and comments are appreciated. Suggestions, constructive criticisms, verbal abuse, whatever you prefer. Thanks for watching. Bye.